Last time on Out Chasing Stars, we had a very stressful passage from Chagos to the Seychelles, where we battled light winds and literally ran out of fuel when we arrived. Despite all this, we made our flights back to the States to attend Amy's grandmother's memorial service. When we returned to Starry Horizons, some friends flew out to join us, and we wasted no time setting sail to start exploring the Seychelles. It's sailing day!
Yay! And we're actually sailing pretty nicely. It's not as rough today as we've experienced lately.
And we've got one familiar face. Everybody remembers Kyle.
Yay!
And he brought someone even more awesome. Hello, Lauren. A brave soul coming to the Seychelles.
Yeah.
And so, Amy, where are we headed to today?
We are headed over to Anse Georgette on Praslin, which is the second biggest island of the Seychelles, and Anse Georgette is this big, beautiful beach. So we're very much looking forward to exploring it.
Nice short 20-mile bumpy sail.
Yeah.
And Kyle, I think it's time to do some fishing.
Snag something here.
All right, you've been our good luck fishing so far. What's your plan for this time?
Okay, so we flew Emirates here. The food was mostly good except for these terrible fruit snacks that made me kind of queasy, so I saved the extra pack, and on one of the trawling lines we put a few of the fruit snacks on the line, and then we're gonna have a control group rod that has no fruit snacks, and we're gonna see if the fruit snack line catches any fish.
Everybody hold your breath. It's time to do some experiments.
That's right.
Or as Kyle calls it, science.
Science.
I'm always willing to try anything to help with our terrible fishing success, but apparently, even the prospect of some science wasn't enough to overcome the effects of almost 2 days of travel. I would just like to point out, Lauren, that Kyle's downstairs all passed out.
He is.
Lauren's been a trooper with me.
Yeah,
the whole time.
Lauren's up here like a badass, sailing with you,
I
and
think I
Kyle's
took like
passed out.
maybe a 10-minute nap, a little bit. But
Kyle's been out for a couple hours, so I think you are winning this passage so far.
He even missed when we caught some seaweed.
It's been an exciting day with
with
fishing
this
lines.
fruit
Yeah.
We took it easy on poor Kyle and had a low-key first night at anchor. The next day, we hit the beach and took off on one of his favorite activities. We are off on another one of Kyle's famous hikes this morning, going up to what is this point called, Kyle?
Zimbabwe,
Zimbabwe.
or Grand Fond, I think is the official term, but
The locals call it Zimbabwe. And I can hear you asking, why Zimbabwe? You're in the Seychelles, not in Africa. Well, apparently, back in like the 80s, some Zimbabweans were here installing a cell phone tower and kept telling all the locals we're going back to Zimbabwe when they were working, and the name stuck. So up, up, up we go to Zimbabwe. Finally see Zimbabwe off in the distance. Those cell phone towers, that's our goal. Kyle, it appears we can't get to Zimbabwe.
I mean we can, but it's probably getting arrested here is not high on my list of things to do.
I don't think Seychelles jail would be a very good place.
No, probably not.
No. Okay, well, welcome to half Zimbabwe.
We made it almost all the way.
Yeah.
It was quite the hike. 2.5 miles.
Straight up.
Yeah. It's a lot of elevation going on.
And of course, what goes up must go down. The views on the hike were absolutely incredible. but it was such a steep hike that we were trying a few creative ways to ease the strain on our legs. By the time we got to the bottom, we were all ready for a little water rejuvenation.
You're filming?
Oh yeah, buddy. This is gonna be full on.
All right.
Everyone laughs footage.
How many seconds after I let go of the boat?
5.
5?
I'm going 3.
3.
Yeah, I'm kind of being generous because I love you.
All right, well, I believe in myself, and I'm gonna go, I'll take the over. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
1, 2.
Oh, it was all wrong.
That was pretty quick, Kyle.
All right.
So be in the middle when you get up, because your weight. Yep.
Oh, I can do this. This is nice.
Knees is easiest, buddy.
All right, we'll go that way.
Center of gravity much lower.
Yeah.
There you go. Just do that till you get the feel for it. All right, Kyle. What did you think of paddleboarding?
It's a lot tougher than it looks.
You look very wet.
Yeah. I fell a few times.
That's
but
not-
I figured it out. I mean, I got pretty close down to those yellow buoys and near the rocks down there, and it's a heck of a workout, and I'm exhausted.
Yeah, after a hike this morning too, no kidding.
Yeah.
But you made it back to the boat, and that's your victory.
And you look good holding that pineapple.
Yep, it's time for fruity rum drinks.
Well earned, I think.
Starting to develop a theme, the next day we made our way back to the beach and set off on another hike.
Am I ready to roll?
You ready to roll?
Oh, I'm always ready to roll.
Okay, let's roll.
To Georgette?
To Georgette,
Let's roll.
hopefully.
That's not a look of confidence right there, babe. I'm not feeling it.
Well, hopefully it's not illegal to go to Georgette like it's illegal to go to Zimbabwe.
We can't be 0 for 2, Kyle. Can't be 0 for 2.
With that much tempting of fate, of course things were going to go wrong.
I'm not quite entirely sure how this happens, but every hike we seem to go on with Kyle just seems straight vertical. He does choose the best ones though.
The hike just to get to the start of the trail to Georgette was tough, and once we found the trailhead, things quickly went downhill from there.
How did you?
We are 30 minutes into what is supposed to be an hour-and-a-half hike on the way there. I am completely drenched in sweat already. It's hot, it's humid. I think we're all in about the same condition. We did bring bathing suits though, so a dip when we get to Georgette sounds lovely already.
A nice cool dip would have to wait for a while yet, as the path we were following seemingly vanished into the jungle. We somehow managed to find ourselves in a place we definitely weren't supposed to be.
I am 90% sure we took a wrong turn somewhere. We are down on the rocks right by the water. Don't think we're supposed to do that. But Anse Georgette is literally supposed to be right around that corner up there. And guess we just have to do a little offshore bouldering to try to finish up this last little bit.
Rounding the corner revealed it wasn't the last stretch of the hike. There was a long way yet to go. Rather than risk injury on the rocks, we forged our own path, literally hacking our way through the jungle. It was exhausting work, and in spite of bringing 2 full camelbacks, we ran out of water. The cameras got put away, and we just focused on making it to Georgette. When the beach came into view, we all celebrated and vowed that the next day's adventure would be a much easier one.
We're off on a slightly less adventurous adventure today. So we're keeping our fingers crossed. We are in the Vallée de Mai. It's kind of the national park here on Praslin, where all the Coco de Mers trees are. Or, as Kyle has affectionately termed them, the buttnuts.
Coco de Mers are famous throughout the Indian Ocean and are especially entertaining for those of us with a somewhat juvenile sense of humor.
So, the Coco de Mers palms are either male or female, but until a tree first produces flowers, which is between 15 and 40 years, there's no visible difference. But the most important part, the phallic male inflorescence can reach an impressive 2 meters.
That is impressive right there.
Yeah, size does matter. Some male palms produce 2 or 3 of these at once. Life
That's a nice talent right there.
That is the male Coco de Mers, and you can tell why that's the male. That is the female Coco de Mers. A little difficult to tell from this angle, but there's definitely a reason they're the females. The nut of the Coco de Mers comes from the female tree and is the largest seed in the plant kingdom. When the nut is husked, it resembles a woman's hips and buttocks, and as such was responsible for some rather interesting legends throughout time. A visiting British general believed this exact spot was the original Garden of Eden as described in the Bible, and that the Coco de Mers was the forbidden fruit. Nuts that had fallen into the ocean tended to ride the current to the Maldives, where they were supposed to be given to the king, and keeping one for yourself could result in death. They were so prized that Holy Roman emperors were willing to purchase just one for 4,000 gold florins, and they were even featured in poems. The hype around them has fallen a bit these days, but that doesn't take away from the absolute majesty of this island.
Oh right, this is the most majestic and handsome of the 4 Seychelles pandans or screw pines.
The Vakva,
You don't think it's majestic and handsome?
horns, pen.
I mean, I guess if there's a contest, like a Miss Universe, and they have to pit them against each other, then sure, maybe this one would win.
How do you pronounce that?
Vakwa parasol
On the left one.
on the left.
Horns.
Horns, pandanus.
Not-
Pandanus.
Wah, wah, wah.
Panda anus.
So mature we are.
Yep.
How are we feeling about this hike compared to yesterday, guys?
This hike is well marked. It is straightforward because there's steps and a path, and it's not that hard.
No bushwhacking.
No
involved.
bushwhacking.
No bushwhacking necessary.
No,
No.
bouldering.
But this is still like, there's a lot of elevation in the Seychelles, so you just have no way to escape actually hiking steps. You know?
Not a
Yeah.
flat walk, huh?
If you
not a
have a
flat
physical
walk.
disability, this is probably not
The hike
your
for you.
desired vacation location.
Yeah.
Fair point.
We're enjoying the hiking.
Yeah,
That's good. That's what we care about.
this is beautiful.
And now it's starting to rain, so that
It's
means
raining on us.
camera go away.
Bye, camera.
At this point, we felt we'd done a pretty good job of exploring Praslin, so the vote was to move on. We took Starry Horizons right around the corner in search of some of the Seychelles' most famous residents. Hello everyone, thank you for checking out our first video from the Seychelles, and a huge thank you to Kyle and Lauren for coming all the way out to visit us. Even if, Kyle, you did try your best to get us killed on those hikes, we still love you anyways. We've got a lot more coming up with Kyle and Lauren, and including finding one of the world's best beaches. So make sure you stick around, check that out next week. We will see y'all later.